Hey, what's up, you guys? Today we're gonna be talking about Usopp. Why does Usopp need armament hockey and need a gun? Why armament hockey is even needed? Easily shown by Luffy first entering Onigashima. What does Luffy do when he first enters Onigashima? Within 5 minutes, he's going Gear Forth, using armament hockey already. These people aren't going down permanently. They're getting KO'd, coming right back up. These guys are very, very durable Yonko level crew members. Yes, they are fodder, but they are still on the Yonko level. So, why does Usopp need a power up? Well, let's go down the list. Luffy, gain a power up. Wano. Zoro, gained a power up. Wano. Sanji, gained a power up. Wano. Nico Ramen, gain a power up. Wano. Chopper, gain a power up. Wano. 6 Straw Hats gained a power up. Usopp, Brook, Frankie, Jinbei. They are the only 4 that haven't gained a power up. Why is this? 1, Jinbei doesn't need a power up. Brook could use one. You know the power scaling boof. How long it take Brook to finish off those little the little fighter members while Nico Robin was fighting one of the commanders? How long? Like, you know what I'm saying? But he one-shotted them. So, you kind of just let that go, right? The power scaling people are just like hammer, like knocking at my door. Like, all right. So Usopp obviously needs a power up. It's almost obvious, but which power up do you give to Usopp? So you have Usopp using one of his most powerful attacks, Skull Grass Bomb, in chapter 1036. He goes to find Kinemon and Kiku in a pool of their own blood, and he has to rescue them from sure death while being chased by Yonko fodder, which are, Kaido's crew members that are gifters and waiters, but they're fodder. But the gifters are very durable, very strong. You cannot defeat them without hockey. And this is what Usopp finds out. When he uses his Skullgrass Bomb, it does nothing. Everyone stands back up and they're like, hey, this guy is with the Red Scabbers and the Straw Hats. We aren't letting this attack stop us. This isn't enough. Go. God, get them, And that was the last attack before Usopp was surrounded by them. But thankfully, Izo came in and spared Usopp's life, Kiku's life, Kinemon's life. Obviously, Usopp was dead there. There's no defeating those guys without hockey. Usopp didn't have the ability to use hockey there, so he was dead along with Kiku and Kinemon, lying there lifeless, almost lifeless. Okay, now of course you recognize Izo's back, showing the Kazuki's crest and all that, and it was, the death flag, and it was awesome, just like Odin death flag, it was like the back, him just showing his back to his comrades and being like, I'll face this, yeah, and face a sure death. Odin, Izu, they're ready, back big as shit, back like a canvas, like a freaking painting canvas. Okay, so This just goes to show Usopp needs a power up. Now, what power up? There's about 2 to 3 options, right? I hate the third one, but the first 2 are very nice. I love them. First one, Usopp will gain armament haki, then a gun. How will he gain a gun? A flintlock gun? Just like Usopp? No. Usopp and Usopp, they're very much alike, but they're also different in many ways. Different in how? Well, the nigga left his son, okay? So there's going to be differences between Usopp and Usopp. Obviously, they're different characters, they have different life experiences, blah, blah, blah. So, at least now we should be on the same page that Usopp needs, at the very least, haki to go with his Kabuto in order to defeat a giant in the Elbath. Now, my main evidence for the gun part of my theory is how Oda has drawn cover pages in the past that reveal something about the canon story. So there are many cover pages that I will not mention here because there's way too many. But I'm going to tell you guys 2 examples, 2 significant, unique examples that show that Oda has used his cover pages to reveal something about the story. First is the infamous chapter 1028 cover page where Luffy's depicted as Ryu from Street Fighter, which now we know was a teaser for Gear 5th. This cover page is one of the same kinds of lighthearted themes that we have Usopp depicted with firearms. This proves that my theory cannot be disproven because the cover pages have been used in the past, showing canon story. Now, in chapter 796, the cover page, Usopp is depicted wearing shorts that say lie turns into reality. This signifies his relations to Nolan the liar, because Nolan wasn't a liar. He was right. His lies were truth. His fantasies, his reality was so unbelievable, people thought they were lies, but they were the truth. Now, this just goes to show Usopp lying about having Conqueror's Haki and Wano. It's the icing on top. It's the icing on top, man. So we have Conqueror's Haki. Possibility? No. Reality for Usopp. Conqueror's Haki is the embodiment of being on top. Conqueror's Haki coding is used to kill. Okay? Conqueror's Haki coding is used to damage the insides of a person. Now, you can tell me if damaging the insides of a person is trying to kill them or just trying to knock them out. Obviously, it's trying to kill them. Conqueror's Haki is used to kill. Is used to be on top and stay on top by killing them. Okay? So, and that's why the Kaido fight was so deadly. That's why Kaido's dead right now. Yes, Luffy wasn't able to kill him directly using his fists, but indirectly, he was able to kill him using his fists that were Conqueror Haki coded. Okay? And obviously, Zoro. Obviously, if you're a swordsman, if you're a firearms expert, that is penetrating and destroying. Penetrating and destroying your insides. Not just penetrating and hurting your insides, bruising your insides. penetrating and destroying your insides. A bullet's going through, and it's killing, destroying those fibers, those your insides, your intestines, everything. It's destroying the path. The sword, it's slicing and destroying the path that it follows. That's why, it's a little, gray area with Luffy and Conqueror's Haki, because he's punching instead of cutting, slashing, bullets going through, stuff like that, right? All that with Conqueror's Haki is deadly, deadly, deadly. And it's obviously deadly, and it's shown to the reader as a very, very, very deadly source. But what we didn't really feel as a reader was Luffy's awakening, Luffy's power-up being considered just as deadly as Zoro. Obviously, we as fellow power scalers, as fellow, people with big brains with tinfoil all the way on, 10 feet up in the air, we understand that Luffy obviously has that deadly force, but it's in a certain, it's a different kind of way. It's not a slash. It's not destroying your intestines. It's not destroying your body. It's more bruising. It's more, this overwhelming, concuss, kind of power. Now, sorry I got off topic there. I had to go into a little thing there. So, Usopp will gain Conqueror's Haki. Oda tells us in this cover page that Usopp takes his lies, turns them into truth. He lied about having Conqueror's Haki, and for Usopp to have Conqueror's Haki, he must have the will and determination to come out on the other side and win. A deadly battle, pirate versus pirate. This will be how Usopp obtains Conqueror's Haki and Armament Haki. Now, whether it's both, one or the other, it really doesn't matter, because Oda could cook it so many different ways. All we know is Usopp will definitely have Conqueror's Haki by the end of the story, and Usopp is getting Armament Haki very, 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 very soon. For Usopp to have the will to kill a pirate, he must also have a way to kill a pirate. And by not any pirate, a Yonko level pirate. A pirate that is on the very, precipice, the very starting age of the Yonko level. Obviously, Usopp isn't going to defeat someone that's at the very top of the Yonko level. He's going to defeat someone near the bottom of the Yonko level. Like, let's say if Kaido's at the top, King is more, middle-ish top. We got Yamato is probably near the bottom, not directly at the bottom. And then we have someone like Izo. Izo would be at the very bottom of Yonko level. And the Red Scabbers as well. Red Scabbers are also the very bottom of the Yonko level. We can debate whether Izo is in that thing or not, but Izo is still able to scar, able to hurt, able to make Kaido bleed. So he is still on that very low bottom level of the Yonko tier. Now, I believe that the Kabuto is just too light, too playful of a weapon to be considered a final weapon for the great warrior of the sea, the ultimate version of Usopp. The ultimate version of Usopp, in my head, does not have a Kabuto, does not have a slingshot. He has a weapon made by Vegapunk. He has a weapon made by himself. He has a weapon that is very, very much, in tune with his design as a character, in tune with his design as Usopp, the playful human of the crew. You know, that's why it makes a lot of sense for Vegapunk to create Usopp's own unique flintlock pistol that doesn't look like a flintlock pistol, doesn't look like any pistol in the One Piece world right now. Usopp's very own pistol specifically designed for him. Okay. So, in chapter 41, Usopp becomes a part of the crew. Chapter 45, Oda draws Usopp in the cover page with a gun. Chapter 45 cover page right here. Usopp isn't depicted with a weapon at all, including the Kabuto, until chapter 186. Okay? Yes, he is included in the cover pages, but he does not have a weapon. And yes, I did check this. In chapter 186, Usopp is depicted with a RPG. Usopp has already used multiple artillery in the story, so it kind of makes sense. And he's done well with those artillery. So, the main point I'm trying to drive home is that Oda personally loves drawing Usopp with guns, with artillery, with he is the marksman of the crew, and he needs to have a power-up that shows this. He is a Yonko level sniper. He is a Yonko level marksman, and he needs to represent that. And obviously, in this war against Kaido's crew, against Kaido and Big Mom, he did not showcase at all that he was the marksman of the Straw Hats crew. Now, this is obviously the most irredeemable part of Usopp. He's a bitch. He is a bitch. He is a scaredy cat. He's a runner. He's a track star. He's a runner. He's a track star. He gonna run away. He don't get far. You know what I'm saying? He's really one of them. And it's time for Usopp to gain that extra level. Everyone else has power-ups. Everyone else that needs power-ups has them now. Usopp is the only one that needs desperately a power-up to stay on the level, to stay on the sheer impressiveness that the Straw Hat Pirates are on right now. Everyone's talking about the Straw Hat crew. Everyone's talking about them. They're the news. They're the new news. They're the new news. They're the new hip crew. Right? They're the new hip crew on the scene. It used to be all about, oh, Kaido this, Kaido that. Kaido is the best. Oh, Kaido that. No one's going to defeat Kaido. You know what I'm saying? And now it's all about Luffy, 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 Luffy. And Usopp needs to gain his advantage, gain his power up, because everyone in Wano was getting these power ups and Usopp was just running for his life the entire time. It makes sense. And Oda agrees with me. He's been drawing Usopp with guns forever now. It's just people haven't talked about it. Talked about how Oda loves drawing Usopp with guns. He likes it. Why is Usopp being depicted with guns in cover pages over and over again if Oda doesn't like the idea of Usopp with guns? Now, this is off topic a little bit, but Sanji, his first design of Sanji, Oda wanted him with guns. Hello? Like, this is obvious that this is going to happen, guys. Right? It's obvious. The setting and the background are very neutral and chill in some of these cover pages, and Oda still decides to draw Usopp with a gun. There's different cover pages where, oh, maybe everyone in the Straw Hat has a gun or like artillery or something like that. There are pages where no everyone has their unique weapons that they use in the story. Zoro's got his swords. Nami's got his baton. Sanji's got his legs. Brooks got his sword. Blah, 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 blah. And Usopp does not have a kabuto. He has a gun. Chapter 357 cover page. Perfect example. Right here. Usopp with a gun. Everyone else with their guns. This is what is to be. With Oda drawing Usopp in so many different ways with different guns, different artillery, it's obvious to me Oda loves to draw Usopp with guns, with artillery. Usopp is the marksman of the crew. And I just personally think a gun fits the brave warrior of the sea. I think that Usopp cannot become the great warrior of the sea without first becoming a fearsome pirate of the sea. And that fear and that drive comes with death flags, comes with the possibility of killing someone. Now, Usopp can gain this easily by just having armament hockey with his kabuto, right? Obviously, he could just have slingshot and still be David versus Goliath, just have hockey, and then he's just as a hard to deal with. He gets the needed power up, and then everything is fine, right? But I still don't agree with that, because y'all can say all you want that Usopp should have a kabuto. Usopp should be a slingshot man, because that's just how his character fits. He's a goofy guy, blah, blah, blah. No, bud. Let me tell you this right now. You think the MC's the only person that could have a personality change? Luffy went from this funny, loving, oh, let's have a great pirate adventure, let's all have fun, blah, blah, blah. He got way more serious because he knew that the stakes were getting higher and higher and higher, and his crew members, the people he loved, and his crew could die at any moment. Like, the stakes got higher and higher and higher. And we're at a point where the stakes have never been higher. The stakes have never been this drastic. When all the other Straw Hats that needed power-ups have gotten them, and Usopp is the only one without a power-up to help him help the Straw Hats. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Vegapunk will create a gun for Usopp, and Usopp will wield it to become the great pirate that he wants to be. Usopp will go into another awakening. One more thing. Some may have thought it was a gag. Some may have thought, really nothing of it. That Usopp said, oh, he's not ready to see Usopp. But maybe there's more to that. Maybe Usopp knows that Usopp is still a kid. That Usopp still has that kid wonder, that kid mentality. And he hasn't grown up like Luffy has. Luffy saw his brother die right in front of his arms. It grew him up. Like, he became more mature. He became more knowledgeable about the world. Grew further with this hardship. It grew him to lengths that Usopp can't even imagine right now. Right? Usopp's whole life, right? It was him getting babied by an entire village of people. Right? Because he had no family. He had no mom, no dad. So the village was babying him, letting him get away with it. But eventually, they were like, hey, stop saying the pirates are coming. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Usopp still has a path to walk down. And it is not over at all. It is just the beginning of Usopp's story of becoming the great pirate of the sea, a great warrior of the sea. And that's about it, guys. I hope you guys liked the video. Yeah. Deuces.